Hi everybody. With an impressive Mathieu van der Poel win at Paris-Roubaix, the cobbled classics are behind us. Earlier today, the Brabantse Pijl started the window of hill classics, and this Sunday, April the 14th, brings us the Amstel Gold Race, taking the riders over 253 km from Maastricht to Bergen ter Blijt in the only part of the Netherlands that isn't flat. It's up and down all day, and in total there's over 3,000 meters of climbing. The nature of the hill classics also entails that we're opening up a new can of riders. At least partially. Some of the one-day cobble specialists extend their season, yet they're being joined by climbing types, with often Grand Tour contenders mixing it up as well. This also shows in the overview of the winners of the final 10 Amstel Gold races, with Kwiatkowski and Philippe Gilbert managing to win the race twice in this window. With the finish no longer on the Kouberg, we see a mix of rider types taking the win here. One-day specialists, puncheurs and climbing types all tend to be in the mix, making this a tough one to call. In the last 10 years, 3 editions have been won solo, by Kreuziger in 2013, Gilbert in 2014 and last year's edition won by Pogačar after a 28k solo. 2015 saw 17 riders battling it out and 2019 10 riders. All the other editions were decided in a sprint of 2 or 3 riders. With Van der Poel and Kwiatkowski, we have 2 former winners lining up. Michał Kwiatkowski won the race in 2015 and 22, while those of you whom have been following cycling for some time will never forget Van der Poel's unbelievable comeback in 2019. Till date, even after having watched those final kilometers over and over, I still can't believe he actually made it back to the front to take an epic win. On top of these former winners, there are some riders with an above average number of top 10 finishes compared to their starts taken. Drawing my particular attention are Michael Matthews, Pidcock, Schachmann, Ben Healy, Alexander Kamp, Skelmose and Koen. Betting odds were not yet available at the time of recording, yet here's the riders to watch in my book. Starting with Alpecin de Koning, who gave us a masterclass in Paris-Roubaix, and lining up here with a bunch of riders who could do really well. With Van der Poel, a former winner here, Philipsen is new to the race, yet I expect the Climby boys to make it too hard for him. And finally, Quinten Hermans, who lined up here once before and who's fresh from winning a stage at the Basque Country. Hermans made it to the front group in today's Brabantse Pijl, yet did not manage to make a dent in the final sprint. While Kwiatkowski is also lining up, I'm expecting Pidcock at the Ineos Grenadiers. He really finds a parcours here that suits him, 2nd in 21, 11th in 22 and 3rd on last year's edition. At UAE, they're lining up with a lot of firepower who don't have experience at this race, yet who could do really well at it. Almeida, Ayuso and McNulty have the best legs based on recent results, with Ayuso and McNulty ending in 1st and 5th at the Basque Country. Some sources also mention Fisher Black in UAE's selection. At Visma Lease Bike, I really like Jorgensen for the Amstel Gold Race and of course Benoot 3rd here in 22. Milan Vader also finds a parcours here that should suit him. I really like Bilbao at Bahrain Victorious. His only participation dates back to 2012, yet he should find a race here that suits him, and his 6th place in the Basque Country clearly shows his form. For EF, Healy, Carapaz and Honoré are the riders to watch. I expect them to be riding for Healy here, runner-up to Pogačar on last year's edition. At Bora, I'm calling Schachmann, 5th in 2019 and 3rd in 21 are serious credentials, and he showed decent form in the Basque Country. At Movistar, Aramburu and Formolo are the main candidates here. Formolo had a good start to the season, yet was fairly invisible at the Basque Country, while Aramburu rode a solid race there. On the other hand, he started here twice before and never managed to ride into the top 10. Madouas and Kung at Groupama. Madouas was 8th here in 2019, 14th in 22 and 11th in 23, and his form seems good, with top 20 positions in Dwars door Vlaanderen and the Ronde, while Kung rode into 8th at Amstel Gold Race in 22, which was his only prior participation in this race. Also keep an eye on young talent Romain Grégoire. Then, there is no way around Van Gils at Lotto Destiny, 7th here last year and in amazing form this year around, 3rd in the Strade, 7th in Sanremo and 2nd to McNulty in the Grand Prix in Indurain late last month. There's also no way around Michael Matthews at Jaiko Alula, 5 times into the top 10 out of 9 race starts, and aside from 1 DNF, only outside of the top 16 once, 4th in 21 and 7th in 22, while being on amazing form, second in Milan-San Remo and second in the Ronde before being relegated to 11th. Little Trek is also lining up here with a very promising squad, with Baggioli and Schelmose their main riders, respectively 6th and 8th in last year's edition. Baggioli hasn't found his best legs yet this year around, yet Schelmose is on fire, 4th in Paris-Nice and 3rd in the Basque Country. Then, at Israel Premier Tech, I'm calling Dylan Teuns, who is looking to be back to his old self, finishing 2nd on today's Brabantse Pijl, 2nd to Cosnefroid at AG2R, who finished 2nd himself in the Amstel Gold Race in 2022. You can't but call Mathieu van der Poel as the only 4-star favourite. The man is riding on another planet this season. In my book though, that doesn't necessarily mean he'll win it. I could imagine some decompression following his Ronde-Roubaix double to charge the engines once more for Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Van Gils and Schelmose are my 3-star favourites. Healy, McNulty and Cosnefroid get 2 stars. Pidcock, Jorgensen, Matthews and Schachmann each get 1 star. For the podium, I'm going to go against my man Van der Poel and I'm calling a Van Gils win ahead of Schelmose and McNulty. Enjoy the race and see you next week for La Flèche Wallonne and Liège-Bastogne-Liège.